All right, let's talk about XRP. It's a name that has been creating a whole lot of buzz in the crypto space lately, and for some pretty solid reasons. There's this renewed energy and optimism around it, and today we're going to dig in and figure out exactly what's behind it all.
So, what's the magic number? $2.65. This is the figure that has analysts and traders all talking. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty ambitious target. But there are some powerful factors at play here that could actually make it happen. So, what's the story behind this bold prediction?
And that's the big question, right? Why this specific number? What are the market analysts seeing that's getting them so fired up? In this explainer, we are going to break down all the key drivers, from the signals in the market all the way down to the core technology that gives XRP its real-world value. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll unpack that $2.65 target. Then, we'll get into the bullish signals that are fueling all this hype. After that, we'll look at the actual tech that drives its value. And finally, we'll cover the potential catalysts for a breakout, and of course, the risks you've got to keep in mind.
Okay, let's jump right in. Where's all of this bullish feeling coming from? Well, this isn't just random hype. It's really being driven by a powerful combination of factors that point to a pretty fundamental shift in the market.
It really boils down to two major forces that are converging right now. On one side, you've got the big money, the institutional investors. They are finally really starting to see the potential in XRP. And then on the other side, you have derivatives traders, and they are placing some seriously confident bets on where this thing is headed. So let's deconstruct these two signals, right? We need to understand how they're working together to build this really compelling case for a potential XRP breakout. Okay, let's break this down. So on one hand, you've got serious institutional money flowing in. We're talking hedge funds, we're talking big asset managers, the major players. They're looking at XRP's real-world ability to change how cross-border payments work, and they're buying in. Then, on the other hand, you've got the derivatives traders. These guys are basically betting heavily that XRP's price is about to go on a serious run. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Market strategists are saying the exact same thing. This flow of institutional money is a total game changer. It provides a much more solid foundation for XRP's price to build on. You know, it's a huge sign that crypto isn't just a niche hobby anymore. It is going mainstream. But let's be honest, market hype can only take an asset so far. To really truly understand XRP's breakout potential, we've got to pop the hood and look at the technology that's powering the whole thing. So, what is it about this digital asset that has so many people so genuinely excited? At the absolute heart of it all is the XRP ledger. Think of it as a blockchain that was built from the ground up for one specific purpose: moving money. And it is ridiculously fast. We're talking transactions settling in just a few seconds. It can handle a ton of traffic, thousands of transactions a second, and it costs next to nothing to use. For businesses, this is, well, it's a revolution. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. Ripple built a solution on top of that XRP ledger called On-Demand Liquidity, or ODL for short. And it is an absolute game changer for international payments. ODL basically uses XRP as a bridge to send money across borders instantly, without all the crazy costs and delays of the traditional banking system. I mean, this slide just breaks it down perfectly. A bank can take US dollars, convert them to XRP, send that XRP across the world in a flash, and then instantly convert it into euros on the other side. The entire process takes, 3 to 5 seconds? It completely turns a system that's been stuck in the past for decades completely on its head. And this is why you hear experts using huge words like paradigm shift. And honestly, they're right to. This isn't just some small improvement to the old system. It's a complete rethink of how we move value around the planet, and it opens the door to so much financial innovation. So, okay, we've got the bullish market sentiment, and we've got the incredible tech. But what's the spark? What's going to light the fuse and really send XRP on its next big run? Let's look at the potential catalysts that could trigger that breakout. There are a few major things to keep on your radar. A positive outcome in the SEC lawsuit would be absolutely massive. Seeing more banks and institutions actually use ODL would be another huge driver. And of course, a rising tide lifts all boats, so if the whole crypto market goes into a bull run, that would certainly help things along. But really, at the end of the day, if you ask most experts, they'll tell you it all comes down to one major thing: regulatory clarity. Getting a definitive positive resolution in that SEC case is widely seen as the single most powerful catalyst for XRP's price. It would just open the floodgates for adoption. Okay, but let's not get carried away. We have to have a balanced view here. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are still some pretty significant hurdles that XRP needs to clear, and it's so important to be aware of the risks involved. The road ahead is definitely not a simple one. The global regulatory picture is still a bit of a minefield. The market itself is, a roller coaster, just like all crypto. And the competition from other projects is getting tougher every day. Plus, let's not ignore the centralization concerns people have about Ripple's large holdings of XRP. These are all serious things that could throw a wrench in the works.
So what's the big picture here? What's the real takeaway? It's about so much more than just a single price target. What we're really watching is this massive convergence. The old, traditional world of finance is meeting the new, fast-paced digital asset economy.
You can almost think of XRP's journey as a kind of barometer, right? It's measuring how this technology can build a bridge between the financial systems we have today and a more decentralized future. It's a real-time experiment in creating a more efficient, open financial world.
So as XRP keeps proving its real-world utility, we really have to ask ourselves, are we watching the very early stages of a grand new financial system? Could this be the future of how money moves? Now, that is a question worth thinking about. Thanks for joining me.